All right, Germany 5, Scotland 1. The Euros has started, boys. And I've got Griggs with me here. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. But the first 20 minutes today, story of what Germany's Euros could be about. 80% possession, running the game as usual, as he does. Tony Cruz, switch of the play. Joshua Kimmich cuts it back. Leverkusen's finest, Florian Wirtz, puts it in. Questionable goalkeeping. Don't know what you thought about that, but down the middle for me. The second goal, lovely passes again. Andrich through to Gundogan. And he does what he does. Kai Havertz with an assist. We don't love to see it. But it is what it is. Scotland, how did you feel about them today, Michael?
I kind of expected them to get beaten. I think Germany are too strong
Like
for them.
this? Like this?
Maybe not 5-1, but every time, like usually when you're the host and when you're a big nation host as well, you kind of want to make the first game is a statement. Italy had it last time when they played Turkey in Rome, and Germany had it against Scotland. And when you look at Germany's team, the coach, the level of squad, Scotland didn't have their best midfielder in Lewis Ferguson from Bologna. He obviously got an injury towards the end of the season, so they don't have him. It was always going to be one way, and it was going to be Germany beating them. But Scotland could have obviously done better. Some mistakes were their own, like the first goal, the goalkeeper. It's called you're the only guy on the pitch that has allowed to use your hands, yet you just can't even palm a ball. It's embarrassing from that level.
It was rough, but I think the story about this game, and we'll get into man of the match later. Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, going band for band, M for M, whatever you call it in New York. They were going at it. They were going at it today. And I read through your article, players to watch this tournament. What have you made of their performance today? But I guess the whole season, because people don't watch Bundesliga enough. I don't watch it enough. So tell me about it.
I don't watch Bundesliga enough either, to be fair. But obviously, those two boys, everyone knows about Florian Wirtz. Everyone knows about Jamal Musiala. Musiala is kind of what I call him. I call him like the let hoopers hoop like Twitter, like that's the favorite because he keeps Joga Bonito alive. Bro, today, like if I was at the stadium and I was watching Musiala, I wouldn't sit down. It's like the type of guy that just has you up on your feet the whole game. Incredible. And Florian Wirtz is a little bit different from Musiala. He's kind of more an efficient version of like that 10. He's kind of just let me get my goal, let me get my assist, that kind of stuff. While Musiala is
closer to De Bruyne.
Yeah, and that's what makes him such a good balanced combo. You have Musiala who'll do all the flashy stuff, all that kind of stuff, while Wirtz puts the finishing touch. Even though both did get a goal today, to be fair, but it's a beautiful setup, and that's why Nagelsmann, for me, when Nagelsmann got announced as the coach, and he automatically said those two are my building blocks for the German national team. For people that don't know about Nagelsmann at Leipzig, it's those kind of players that he loved using. He's not really a winger kind of guy. He loves my favorite term, the wing fielders. Them kind of inverted midfielders that like they're cook as wingers, but they're more techie. Like they love to dribble in the central areas, and that's what he is with two of them. And it meshed beautiful, man. And Germany, bro, when you look at potential down the line of bigger opponents at the verse, it's gonna be hard to stop those two guys because they'll go as far as those two guys take them because they're the game changers at the end of the day. Germany don't have a striker that's like some top goal scorer.
Yeah. I want to get into that, but as you see that game go on, you've got these dual threats. The one thing you can't do, you talked about the goalkeeper, Porteous, red card, penalty, probably as bad as it gets in the first half. And it all goes to shit. And then at halftime, I know Che Adams wasn't doing much, but you sub him off for another center back and essentially just call it a day. I don't know, because I was looking through the numbers. I know you're probably going to try and angle for that third place finish. It's only like 3 out of the 8 teams from those third spot teams that have qualified with only 3 points on goal difference. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's a major thing, but you tried to call it a day. And in a way, I guess you almost did. You kept them at bay, 2-1 in the second half, but 94%, bro, the Germany pass accuracy. I thought you can't lose a game unless you're Spain. You can't lose a game with that sort of stat line. And Tony Cruz, man, about to retire, top of his game. Would you go out like this? Do you want to go out on top, or are you a sicko like me that just wants to play forever, bro?
Well, you never know because like today I saw some guy tweet about Ronaldo and it was
Mm,
about a Euro 2012 performance of Ronaldo and they said was
yeah,
Ronaldo was actually this good. So sometimes you don't want to go out like just
but
keep playing because
bro,
people will forget about
bro,
your legacy.
but
So
why do we care about those people?
we
Why do
shouldn't
we like
we shouldn't,
we
but
like? Come on,
that's how
man.
it becomes a public opinion and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
I've seen it. I think I'm sure everyone's seen the clip from like that popular podcast about
yeah.
Ronaldo's like being finished and stuff like that. So that's why we can make an argument Ronaldo should retire after 2018 when he was on top of the world. Maybe he would be remembered better. But with Toni Kroos, obviously the guy can be playing for another 7 years. He's that kind of profile midfielder.
Yeah.
Those midfielders like the likes of Paul Scholes, the likes of Andrea Pirlo. We all saw those guys play into the twilight of their careers a long time. But Toni Kroos, I mean, bro, Toni Kroos has been playing since like 2009. By the way, it's
He's
2024.
still got it, man.
It's
He's
been a
still
long
got
time.
it.
And he's just amazing. And we talk about the Spain, like how this dominant possession. This Germany team is actually very reminiscent of a Spain, the prime
Mm,
Spain teams. You have you don't have the traditional wingers. You have the Musialas and Verts that are inverted wingers,
mm,
stuff like that. You have the number 9 that's not really a number 9 that can kind of do link up play. You have the DLP and Toni Kroos. You have the Gundogan who's kind of like your 6'8", 10 kind of midfielder.
mm.
You have the one destroyer, I guess, in Andrik. He's like the only non-Spain entity. In the back,
Yeah.
you have 2 bulldozing
Kimmich.
center backs, and then Kimmich is
Yeah,
basically another midfielder within himself, even though he is a right back, and he needs
yeah,
to accept his destiny at the end of the day. And that middle stack guy, just going up and down the wing, bro. The guy's just loving life. He's just bombing up
yeah,
and down.
yeah. I mean, I would have loved the clean sheet fantasy points today, but it is
Yeah,
what it is. They get that late own goal, and I just want to get this out of the way. Let me just show this. That's my boy Jono. Trying to piss me off. It's working. It's working. I don't know if you saw, but they gave him a standing ovation as he subbed off. What did you make of the Kai Havertz performance? Long term, my heart's still on Fulkrug. I think he gives them another dimension. You talk about obviously that Spanish style. I think it's nice to have that balance and have someone a certified bucket getter. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Kai Havertz has always been good in a Germany jersey, whether you like
Mm.
him or not. He kind of always typically shows up, even at the World Cup where they got knocked out in the group stage. I think he had 2 goals, so he's always there.
Yeah.
And in terms of like the setup in games like this, you kind of need a Kai Havertz. It's like maybe the bigger games that maybe they'll need a Fulkrug. They like late in the game, it's 0-0. You need a goal. That's when you bring on Fulkrug, in my opinion. I think
Mm.
Kai Havertz just kind of meshes well with the team, and it's not gonna be like I know some Twitter accounts like the Tacticals are gonna kind of big up the Kai Havertz. They're gonna make up some random football term that doesn't really exist and to big him up. He was okay. He just did his job. He's not the perfect footballer. I think he's a little
Mm.
loose on his touches today. I thought he was taking a couple extra touches with his possession, but that's Kai Havertz for you. Obviously, it's not the same Kai Havertz that everyone was watching in 2019 because we talk about Florian
Exactly.
Wirtz. Kai Havertz is a bigger prospect than Florian Wirtz back then.
Kai
Everyone wanted
Havertz was the old Wirtz. Julian Brandt was the old Wirtz. We've seen this story before,
yeah, we've seen
and
it. And
hopefully we don't see that happen to
nah, it'll
Florian.
never
He
happen.
looks like different gravy.
It's a different player now, and Kai Havertz is a completely different player now. He's turned into this false 9 that just links play and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like him that much because I tweeted out I'm like I like strikers that just rip the ball through the net. That's my kind of striker. Like the full court finish was a golazo. He just ripped the net. Kai Havertz first half they set up a free kick for him and he rolled it to the keeper. It's like it's all about preference. I don't really prefer Kai Havertz's, but in the modern day of football, it's the Kai Havertz's that get the game time.
Running that free kick after that near penalty for him, like out of all things you could do, was crazy. But it almost got me because no one was expecting a Kai Havertz free kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got his goal though, penalty. And the assist, I think, from Musiala.
So. Yeah, he got the assist for the second as well. So I think they will stick with him, but deep into extra time, you're going to see Fulkrug. I'm sure you're going to see Sane probably for one of the young guys.
No, not that guy. That guy sucked.
Today was meaty.
Nah, Leroy Sane, it's time for an
Are
application.
You selling? Are you selling?
It's an application for Good Dude University. It's that time. It's the applications are rolling. It's deadline day is almost here. To make it even worse, I wanted to tweet Leroy Sané, it's time to go home, but he was home because he was playing at the Allianz Arena. So he was in his home stadium already. So he really can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So like, where do you go from here? It's not looking good for him. I think
Peace and
I
prosperity.
personally think he's on a decline. You saw it this season. He went like 6 months without a goal. National team, you have Musiala and Verts who are both better
And
than
he
him.
doesn't fit now. He doesn't
He
fit
doesn't.
with
He's not,
whatever
yeah,
this
he's
is
not
going to
really
try and
not
do,
a Nagelsmann type
which
of
is
player.
interesting.
Like, yeah, man, I'm not moved by Leroy Sané, but who knows, man? Maybe he could pick something up in the knockout tournament. Maybe he'll have that one moment of brilliance because he does have it in him. We saw it this season in certain moments, but right now, if that's how the cameras are going to be, you might as well just bring on someone else. I don't know who, but
Pascal Gross came off the bench today, bro.
I saw that for him.
I didn't feel too phased. Like, not much changed. I think Scotland had a few moments, but you're against 10 men. I don't know how much more we'll see of him. I think it was mainly the yellow card for Andrich that sort of drives that decision. But finally, like, players that it's one of my sweet things like about football, like players that have just been doing well, 6, 7 out of 10 every week, but just get disregarded. And now actually getting an opportunity, I think it's great to see.
Shout out Pascal Gross, man. I've always liked him at Brighton, and he's very similar to Kimmich. He could kind of just be like a Swiss Army knife.
Whatever you need. Yeah,
whatever you need. Now, you need to play like that in an international tournament, because because let's say Kimmich somehow picks up a yellow card, you're gonna have to bring him in. Get another choice. If Andrić again picks up a yellow card, Tony Cruz, someone like that, because they've lost a couple of midfielders. Pavlovic obviously went out to injury, so Emre Can, who scored the 5th goal, obviously no one wants to see Emre Can too much. No disrespect to him. I know he scored the goal today, but let's be real. I don't even know who's on the team. Thomas Muller, that's another old guy. Yeah, like the starting 11 for Germany is good. It's the depth that if Gundogan, because that Gundogan, that tackle for the penalty could have gone really wrong for Germany. They're lucky that Gundogan escaped. If that was a serious injury for Gundogan, you're starting to look like
probably. I guess Leroy would come in, and then you'd see like Florian or Jamal just take up that sort of role. And I'm not saying they can do it, but I think that's what would probably happen. Last thing, Antonio Rudiger. All right, first minute of the game, he lobs that ball over, bro, for Florian Wirtz like it's nothing. Real hooper, real center back. I'm not trying to have those, where does he rank? Is he top 5? Is he this? Is he that sort of conversation? But every time I watch him, it's like there are no complaints with the performance. Yes, he scores an own goal today.
That wasn't even his
what?
That was a weird bounce. It was all over the place. Cost me -1 in fantasy, but it is what it is. I've always said Rudiger's top 2 for me. I think Virgil van Dijk is the only center back in the world where you could comfortably that you can say is better than Rudiger. Everyone else, I think Rudiger has a fair shot to compete against him because the guy's he's my type of center back. No nonsense, rattler, wants to get physical with you. That's the center backs I grew up on. That's the type of center backs I've always appreciated in football. We all love our ball playing center backs, but at the end of the day, when it comes to international footy, build up hype, all that kind of shit. It's about just being a real man defender, and you want to get physical. And that's what I love about Germany's team. They have all these hoopers in the midfield and the attack, but at the back, you got Jonathan Tah and you got Rudiger. You got 2 center backs that just want to get physical. They don't care about build-up play, because if they did, Nico Schlotterbeck would be playing.
Exactly.
Mats Hummels might have gotten called up because he's obviously probably Germany's best ball-playing center back. But nah, it's just about Rudiger, Todd defending the channels, getting physical, because at the end of the day, Scotland are not good. But Germany will eventually come up against better teams that will provide a better counter threat. That, for me, I'll see what Germany is. And that's why Rudiger's there, because he's the kind of guy that you want marking the quickest players. We saw what he did against Holland. Holland has not gotten a sniff against Rudiger for over 4 games now, I think. Obviously, Germany there's no elite attacker in their group, but once that knockout stage comes, might have to come up against a Mitrovic, a Vlahovic, a Højlund, a Harry Kane. What's his name?
Different. It's different. When you face those sort of strikers, it's not going to be Che Adams, obviously.
Yeah,
before we wrap up, I feel like the Euros is like the perfect like way of seeing like check in with yourself, like what you were doing like 3-4 years ago, obviously, with the last Euros. 4 years time, bro, you're doing sports journalism. I want to hear from you. Like, what's the plan? 4 years time. where are we? Where is Griggs Talks?
Where is Griggs Talks? Oh, I'm into the YouTube channel. I don't know what I want it to be. Obviously, I want to be like on TV, other side podcasts and stuff like that. That I want to build as a brand with my boys. Kind of be doing that. Kind of, I don't know if obviously like like the way like Culture Cans does it, like like that JD Sports Show, just like interviewing people outside stadiums, kind of traveling the world, keeping the writing going as well, kind of stuff like that. We'll see though. But when's the next year? It's 2028, right? I don't know where the hell it's at, but the real goal, forget about year 20. My real goal is like 2026 World Cup because it's local. Obviously, it's gonna be in my area.
We'll be there.
So we gotta be there, bro. Greece will be there, and they don't disappoint me again because. But when I listened to that Scotland national anthem, which was a very great national anthem, by the way, shout out to the Scottish people. I wanted to run through a brick wall after hearing that anthem. It clocked me. My country's again not in an international tournament, and it's just very depressing. It's very depressing. I want that feeling again. I haven't seen my country in an international tournament in 10 years. It's the worst feeling ever.
If you don't make it this time with 48 teams,
it's clipped. No, it's clipped.
It's on you. It's on you at that point.
I'm getting debaptized, bro. It's time for me to get debaptized. I have to go get baptized in a different, like, I'm about to switch from Orthodox to Catholic or something. I don't know, man.
Let's see. Last question before we wrap up. Subscribe to Griggs Talks if you want to see good live reactions of Man United losing games. That's the place to be. But for now, can you hoop? Which player do you play like when you actually play football? Because I feel like football Twitter, we talk a lot. What do we do?
I'm gonna be real. I'm not the best of footballers. I'm gonna be honest with the people. I'm not the best of athletes. I don't have the genetics to be the best of athletes. So I'm gonna be real.
Neither.
Greeks, we're not really the best of athletes. I'm gonna be real. We're not.
Really?
No, we're really not. Not when it comes to like football, basketball. We can shoot. We're obviously like we're the smart players. We're more into the aquatics, like the swimming. Because I always want my first goal in life was to be a swimmer. Because I was at the beach every day. When you're because obviously Australia, in the summers, you want to be on the beach. You want to be swimming, enjoying life, and that's what I wanted to. Obviously, then I moved here, and then the beaches here are fucking garbage. So my bad, no swearing. But yeah, they're bad. So. Yeah, that's one of my original goals. But in football, I'd say I'm kind of like a Rudiger, man. Just a no nonsense. I play center back, bro. No nonsense defender. Shout out my boy Socrates, Papastathopoulos, like them kind of guys, man. No nonsense.
Okay.
Got the big forehead, aerial duels.
Okay.
That's what you gotta do, man. Putting a slide tackle.
That's good because I play anywhere because the team is just down on men most weeks. But for me, it's like Thomas Muller. Like, I can't dribble, but I'm just going to move and hope no one's marking me. Like, just imagine, like, the most B-Tech version of Thomas Muller. I think that's my game. Because I don't have a dribble package. And once people realize that...
That's crazy.
Bro, once people don't realize... Once they realize I don't have a dribble package, it's game over. It's game over. Because it's just crosses. It's just It just crosses. All good. Been lovely having you on the channel, bro. Keep working at it. 2 years' time, I'll be in New York. I can ISO you one-on-one in football, not in basketball. We're not doing that. Thanks, Jono. All good. All right, let's wrap it up.
I hope all goes well for your channel. Obviously, I've been keeping eyes on it. So
yeah,
I'll keep trying my best as well with my
easy as
with my social media presence. So yeah,
easy as. Stay locked in, fellas. Every day we've got another video with another guest. Stay tuned for more.